Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a fantasy action film, DORORO. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. In a Japanese winehouse, guests are drinking to their heart's content while watching a dance performance. All of a sudden, a man jumps onto the stage and cuts off the lead dancer's facial mask. When the mask is torn off, everyone is shocked to discover that the dancer is a huge spider. The intrusion certainly throws the guests into turmoil. All of them evacuate the winehouse in terror. The man removes his arm and brings out a hidden blade to slash the spider. The spider in turn pierces through the man's body, but he is not injured at all. Surprisingly, his wound heals in an instant. In the end, he kills the spider monster and his leg grows back from his own body. This mysterious man is a rogue short-named Mutant Boy. 20 years ago, his father, the king, made a deal with the 48 demons so as to gain prosperity and rule over his land. His deal was sealed at the expense of his firstborn son, Mutant Boy. As his wife was giving birth, demons fed on each body part of his son, leaving the son without skin, ears, noses, eyes, or limbs. However, with a bit of luck on his side, the abandoned child was eventually found by a master medicine man who was frantic about regeneration. So the master fully applied his knowledge to healing the poor boy. He first collected the remains of babies who had died in the war. After a series of processing, he fixed the artificial limbs and organs on Mutant Boy to build him a new body. As Mutant Boy grew up, the master had taught him martial arts and attached 2 short blades to his arms. Years later, before the master passed away, he revealed Mutant Boy's origin. Ever since then, Mutant Boy has decided to hunt down the demons so as to claim all of his lost organs back. Whenever Mutant Boy manages to kill a demon, he will restore one of his lost organs. Since most of his physical parts are crafted by healing magic, Mutant Boy is invincible to any mortal blow. On the same day after Mutant Boy defeats the Spider-Man, he runs into DORORO, a young orphaned female thief. DORORO has heard of Mutant Boy's story through a kung fu musician. In fact, the 2 blades hidden in his arms are gifted by the musician. Fascinated by the legend, DORORO has made up her mind to follow him in the hunt for demons. However, Mutant Boy prefers to be alone, so he repeatedly warns DORORO not to glue to him. To his dismay, no matter how he drives DORORO away, she insists to remain by his side, possibly because his hormone smells good. On the way, an ugly giant fat baby appears before them out of nowhere and leads them to a nunnery nearby. It turns out the giant fat baby is formed by spirits of multiple dead babies. While Mutant Boy and DORORO are taking a short break in the nunnery, a couple have come to visit the place. In a world where war has ravaged every village in the area and famine, sickness, and natural disaster have become the norm, many parents struggle to make their ends meet. They have no choice but send their children to the nunnery. However, no one expects that one day, a tragic fire would take away the lives of all the nuns and children. So the parents often visit the nunnery to offer their condolences and ask for forgiveness. Hearing their confession, DORORO criticizes the selfish parents for abandoning their children. But actually, poverty rules out other choices for them. As Mutant Boy and DORORO continue with their journey, they meet a tycoon of the village. When the tycoon learns that they are travelers, he generously invites them for a stayover. DORORO looks forward to stealing some treasures from the rich man, so she accepts the invitation right away. One thing amazing is that the tycoon has 10 daughters who look identical from head to toe. That night, Mutant Boy and DORORO are getting ready to rest after meals, not knowing that some dark and scary secrets are awaiting them. Actually, the 10 daughters are not human beings, but man-eating worms. Right now, the worms are discussing which guest they should consume first. Shortly after, they wriggle to the guest room, prepared to start their feast. But Mutant Boy is so alert that he kills all the beasts in a flash. When DORORO wakes up, the 10 monsters all have died. At this time, the giant fat baby pops up in the court and points in a certain direction. DORORO and Mutant Boy follow his instruction to a study room where a hidden underpass is found. Walking through the underpass, they see many skeletons and remains of the dead. More and more bones appear until they reach the nunnery destroyed by fire. Now that they realize those children did not die of fire, rather they are eaten up by the worms of the tycoon. Mutant Boy speculates that the tycoon's wife must be a dark witch and her food supply just comes from the nunnery. DORORO gathers the villagers to expose the tycoon, while Mutant Boy returns to the tycoon's house to deal with them. At first, Mutant Boy is hoping that the couple will repent from their evil acts, but Tycoon refuses to admit his wrongs. Even though the tycoon loves the wife so much that he even risks his life to protect her, the Dark Witch does not return the same favor. She tries to kill Mutant Boy and her husband together with one deadly shot. The sword goes through the two bodies, and the tycoon dies in blood. Mutant Boy comes up unscathed to tackle the witch. She transformed herself into a huge but sexy moth, with her wings studded by horrifying eyes. As Mutant Boy gains the upper hand, the witch wants to fly her sexy ass away. Luckily, the giant fat baby arrives in time to drag the skinny moth down with his heavy body weight. So Mutant Boy takes the chance and steps forward to slay her immediately. Right after the witch dies, all the children devoured by her enter the reincarnation, and Mutant Boy earns a new organ. Sadly, the villagers who have witnessed Mutant Boy's transformation regard him as a monster and drive them away in fear. Having gone through many ups and downs together, the two have forged comradeship to fight whoever blocks their way. The first enemy they are faced is the Peach Monster. The monster has a head like that of a man and a body consisting of roots. Once its mouth drops open, peach flowers are scattered everywhere. DORORO cannot do anything to such a monster, except staying aside to enjoy the battle view. After the Peach Beast is wiped out, Mutant Boy gains back his ears. Soon, they are confronted by another monster, Godzilla, when DORORO finally manages to offer some assistance. She cuts Godzilla's throat, and in return, Mutant Boy gets back his own throat. Encouraged by the multiple victories, Mutant Boy becomes bolder in the demon hunt. As such, he easily eradicates an eagle demon and claims back his own hand. When they are at the borders, DORORO tells Mutant Boy about her own story. A few years ago, her hometown was trampled down by King's army. Her own father was killed in the war, and her mom was frozen to death. DORORO lives on the mission to murder King. Shortly after, they have entered King's land. Mutant Boy alone visits a wine house to get some food and a break. Suddenly, a gang of robbers break into the wine house. While most of the guests flee the scene, Mutant Boy remains on his seat with absolute composure. One of the robbers challenges Mutant Boy, but receives a hard blow. Thanks to the blowing job, the prince in the wine house notices his excellent martial skills. Therefore, Prince intends to hire Mutant Boy to work for him. Out of curiosity, Mutant Boy follows Prince to the palace. While they tour around the palace, they meet the Queen, who's shocked to see Mutant Boy's clothes. Queen recognizes that he is the very son she abandoned 20 years ago. Queen cannot wait to tell Mutant Boy their relationship. As soon as Mutant Boy touches the Queen's hand, the past vividly replays in his mind. But the fact that Queen's setting him adrift breaks his heart. He has been searching for his origin all his life, but the truth has thrown him into torment and confusion. While Mutant Boy immerses himself in shock and sorrow, DORORO tries to comfort him. However, Mutant Boy reveals that her enemy is no one else but his own father. Overcome by her grief and hatred, DORORO surprises Mutant Boy with a stab. As usual, Mutant Boy is not wounded at all. Empathizing with DORORO's pains, Mutant Boy calmly accepts whatever she says and does. Then the two of them part their ways. But DORORO returns to Mutant Boy after some careful consideration. She asks Mutant Boy to let go of his own grudges to start anew. Her words have moved the heart of Mutant Boy. On the other hand, Queen wishes to see Mutant Boy again. But her plan is always disrupted by the prince. To retain his existing power and privileges as the one and only prince, Prince decides to kill Mutant Boy. Queen is heartbroken to learn of his ambition, but she can do nothing to stop him. In the meantime, the devil misleads King to think that Mutant Boy's presence hinders him from ruling the land. The devil adds that everything will be restored when Mutant Boy dies. King buys all the lies from the devil and prepares to assassinate Mutant Boy. When King is on his way, Prince and his soldiers have come to confront Mutant Boy. Previously, Mutant Boy is convinced by DORORO to forget the past and move forward, but Prince initiates the fight. Mutant Boy's conscience and kindness are holding him back from killing any of the royal troops. On the contrary, unwavering his resolution to slay Mutant Boy, Prince does not relent. As such, Prince has killed his own soldier by mistake. Mutant Boy intends to reconcile with Prince, but Prince only wants to end his life. In his attempt at self-defense, Mutant Boy accidentally leaves his blade stuck in Prince's throat. When Queen finally arrives, Prince drops dead to the ground. Plunged into grief for the death of her younger son, Queen plans to take Mutant Boy's life for life, but she cannot bear the loss of two sons on the same day. Before long, King also storms to the battlefield. Reading her husband's mind, Queen stops King from acting foolishly, because Mutant Boy is their only remaining son now. However, King shuts his ear to Queen's plea and puts her to death right away. King's brutal murder makes Mutant Boy's blood boiling. With the dying wish to avenge his mother, Mutant Boy charges at his father in a fury. Even when DORORO tries to hold him back, she's knocked straight out. Unleashing their wrath towards one another, the battle between the father and son starts. Over the years, Mutant Boy has picked up many martial art skills, so King is no match for such a samurai. But right then, Mutant Boy doesn't have the heart to slaughter his own father. At the same time, the devil comes to promise King that he will revive Prince as long as King surrenders his body and his territory. Mutant Boy is firmly against such an evil plan, since it will cause tremendous sufferings for the world. Despite Mutant Boy's warning, King takes the deal. As a result, the dead prince is resurrected. In fact, King is inhabited by the devil, who conspires to release more demons to destroy the world. However, the devil does not expect the king to have it trapped inside his body. King realizes that his sins have piled up to heaven, so he wants to repay his people by exterminating the devil. Then King pushes the sword through his own belly, struggling to suppress the devil within himself. He then asks Mutant Boy to annihilate him. King's sacrifice creates the only chance to liquidate the devil. If the devil does not die, the world will never be at peace. For the best interest of the majority, Mutant Boy reluctantly destroys King and the devil together. After the king's death, Prince has succeeded to the throne. Prince offers to make Mutant Boy king because he's lacking in many ways, but Mutant Boy rejects him. Mutant Boy has never aspired to be a ruler, and he knows he's not a good fit. His dream now is to eliminate the demon ghouls and, together with DORORO, reclaim all his lost body parts, including his smelly sausage. This Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.